What ho there, chapos! Lord Pembleton has been resurrected this time, thanks to the magic of Papa Nurgle. Remember, be warned of my harking tale. So, Pembleton, you might be asking, what has happened to you over these past few months? Where were you, buddy? To be honest with you, I was not in a great condition. As I mentioned in a previous previous episode, that essentially I had contracted some kind of illness, and that left me in a very bad condition. And because of that, I was essentially clinging on for dear life because I couldn't breathe. And it's not really good if you don't breathe. If you can't breathe, it's not technically very healthy for a long life. So essentially, that happened to me. I was rushed into hospital. They managed to essentially stabilize me, and afterwards, well, I did have a really harrowing night spent at the dementia ward because that's just how the medical system is these days. You essentially get rushed into hospital. Suddenly, hey, not enough beds. You're going straight into the dementia ward where you're going to spend a nice, very lovely night listening to all kinds of horrifying sounds and hear a lot of people slowly start to degrade their minds. And that is, one of the things I've learned is that, it's never a good thing to be in that state. I feel really bad for anybody who has to suffer with that horrible, debilitating disease. Spending that night, I kind of got a little more of a good idea of what it's like. A lot of screaming, a lot of shouting, a lot of people just, wallowing. It was essentially going and listening, putting your ear right next to the river Styx. The sea of dead souls, all, wallowing in pain and agony. I know what Dante Alighieri kind of might have gotten inspiration from. Anyway. Beyond that, I, got better, recovered, had to take a lot of medication, wasn't very good, I was not really in a great state of mind. And then after that, on the 19th of January, the same thing happened again, and this time I had the added caveat of essentially having a temperature of 41.5 degrees Celsius. So essentially I was just gobbling everything. I could not think for the life of me. I essentially sounded like some, brain-dead chimpanzee just repeating sentences over and over again. So that happened. I recovered, but I had to go back on medication, and I had to spend about, at least I would say, a couple weeks recovering. But after that, because of that, I had issues with my work, my uni work, so I had to kind of focus my attentions on that. So I kind of took a little bit of hiatus off of YouTube, just to get better and recover, and also focus on my studies. Unfortunate timing for everything. Another thing I want to touch upon is actually my video that I've been working on the history of witchcraft, and kind of giving answering the question of whether medieval people did believe or didn't believe in witchcraft. So anyway, let's cut a long story short. The episode is going to be in a kind of indefinite hiatus unless some few things change. So just to let you know, basically I wanted, of that research project, I basically opened it up. I thought, hey, it's going to be a fun thing to delve into. Let's research how did medieval people perceive witchcraft? Did they believe in it? Did they believe in witches? Yes or no? And this essentially, at first, it was kind of going well, the research. And then after that, I figured out, oh, this is actually a lot more complicated than I originally thought. So I kept on learning about the actual subjects, reading books such as Ronald Hutton's book, The Witch, a historical medieval figure, and basically I read that, and overall I kind of gotten a lot more information out of it, and realized it's not really a field that is very extensive. It's actually very hard to get good information out of because it's not something that a whole lot of people research. So after delving into that, trying to scroll through a lot of medieval works and basically trying to get like first-hand accounts, which was an absolute nightmare. It took me months. I realized, man, this is actually the answer is not as simple as it looks. Actually, it's kind of very difficult to figure out how did people perceive witchcraft in the medieval ages. It was, and the thing is, I could kind of, basically head off with a story being like, this is what medieval people believed, but I, it doesn't feel right. And to me, the most important thing is going to be to deliver that information in a very concise way and a very detailed manner. Basically, not try to like, basically, this is how people would believe in witches. Blah, blah, blah. I can't do that within good consciousness. Within good conscience, I can't really do that. So that's kind of where it's at. Maybe I might come back to it later on, after I might get it like a team, because one of the things is you have to scroll through a lot of reports, papers, um, books here and there, and you also have to make sure that the information that you're getting is correct, which for this specific subject is actually monumentally difficult. I've went through 10 different papers online about the history of witchcraft and witches, and honestly, it literally, like, I was reading through it, everything took me ages, and every time I read the paper, everything kind of got swapped around. Is this how they believed it? Did they not? There might be a little bit more information on, maybe higher nobility, but there's not really much information on basically the peasantry, and even the stuff that is well documented for, let's say, for instance, nobility, is kind of hidden behind a veil of sort of political, basically, over the time. It's kind of delved in sort of like a shroud of the politics of the time, because again, witchcraft was basically used as a political tool as well as, let's say, for instance, a scare tactic, and this is kind of very difficult to kind of get a good idea of. So basically, that's just in its own hiatus. I will probably go back to it when I'm more prepared to kind of delve into the topic again, and also hopefully like perhaps get a team. But for now, it's on in a definite hiatus. So anyway, what else is going to happen on this channel? Well, I'm going to be going back to making kind of videos where it's a lot bit more based around my interests, based around, let's say, for instance, subjects that I might be interested in. Perhaps some things about toys and games as well. So I've been into playing with my girlfriend some Call of Cthulhu, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's a tabletop RPG. And also, I want to also say thank you to my girlfriend for kind of helping me out for these past couple of weeks. I forgot to mention that. Anyway, essentially what I want to do next is kind of delve into those kinds of topics. For instance, I'd like to do some toy reviews for, let's say, for adult audiences. I don't mean like toys that are like for, collectors and stuff like that. I mean like toys perhaps for kids, like parents who might want to basically buy something for their kids or even for themselves, but they just are always filled with these videos on YouTube that are just basically people just playing with toys and not giving any kind of review, not really going down into the specific details. I essentially want to make like, one of those gaming review videos, but for toys. Delve into the positives, the negatives, what can you expect from it, and what ages do I feel it's appropriate for parents to buy this for, or even just anyone really. So that's gonna be it at the moment. Anyway, I will of course might get into more complex videos later on, but currently I'm studying for my exams, so it's gonna be should be around after the 9th of May. I should be able to kind of delve into a lot more of that. Another thing I want to explain is basically another reason why I'm kind of also have been on a bit of a hiatus is also because I've been focusing on my business ventures. So I'm essentially want to be a bookbinder and basically do book restorations as well. So I've been working with my university's entrepreneurial enterprise committee to kind of help me out in that venture, which has been actually going really well, and I've been learning a lot about business in itself. So that's going to be also another thing that I might find interesting. I might kind of delve into another thing for my videos in the future. It's just, that's how it goes. So I'm back, and also thank you to Papa Nurgle for resurrecting me from the dead. Uh, Another thing I also want to get into is some more Warhammer topic videos as well. But yeah, that's about it. So thanks everyone for sticking around. If you're around, if you're new, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Not only there's going to be a plethora of more content coming on in the next upcoming weeks. I can assure you that. Anyway, yeah. Goodbye, everyone.